Welcome back, everybody. I'm Beth Ridley, your host for this afternoon. It is a beautiful day in Milwaukee, and we are at the beautiful Nose Studios. We've got a crowd here in the studio audience. Everybody make some noise. All right, so we are actually turning the bend to the home stretch with our fabulous interviews. If you haven't tuned in yet, you are in for a treat. Because they just keep getting better and better and better. All right, so I am sitting down here now with Allison. And okay, let me just go ahead and take a stab at your last name. Schweitzer. Schweitzer. Okay, Allison Schweitzer. And Allison, you describe yourself as a portfolio musician. Is that fair?
Yes, that is probably the most appropriate way of describing me. And that's a term that's used kind of in the music industry for people who make their money in music from a lot of different income streams within the music industry. So as a musician, as a performer, as a director, as a teacher, as an editor of a publication about music, so it's all over the place. So, yeah, lots of different little things.
Let's just say you are musical.
I'm musical.
And
that's
some
fair.
of your, I guess maybe instruments that you really gravitate towards are the French horn.
Right.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually, like one of my favorites, I always wanted to play that in high school because I think it is so beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
But
yeah.
I was worried that it was kind of big to have to carry on the bus every day.
It is, yeah. But the beauty of being a professional level horn player now is that you get the instrument where the bell gets cut off, and it stacks on top of the rest, and you can carry it in a little backpack on your back, and that's all you need.
That's when you know that you've made it to the big
right,
leagues.
yes.
And then you also are a piano teacher, and you also play
Right,
piano
yeah.
at a lot of events. So you've got the horn, piano. Anything else that we should know about?
I used to do
instrument-wise?
some singing, but I kind of decided that I needed to focus on less than like 3 things. So
Yeah.
3 instruments. So
Yeah.
2 is enough.
Yeah, 2 is a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so where did your passion for music come from? Did it start at an early age?
Yeah, and with a lot of people in music, it starts pretty young. And if you're lucky enough, like I was, you have a teacher who kind of guides you and notices that. When I was going through school, I had a 3rd grade teacher who noticed that I liked to hang around her piano a lot and was making a lot of music and songs by my ear, making chords by my ear, putting songs together. And she was like, this girl really needs to learn music the right way, besides just doing it on her own. So she got me into piano lessons and then took other lessons on other instruments from there.
Now, did you always love it? And I ask because I've got 3 kids. I always thought it was very important to introduce them to some instrument. I played piano growing up,
Sure.
but you get to a point you're like, it's frustrating.
It is
especially when you're
frustrating.
learning. So how do you break through going through the phase where you're learning until you're good enough that it becomes fun? How do you stick with it?
Well, it's a discipline for sure, and ideally you're teaching yourself and learning through an instructor that self-discipline as you go. If you have a good teacher, you're constantly setting goals for yourself and constantly finding performances to work towards, whether it be contests or concerts or recitals or something along those lines. So there's always something to work towards, as an athlete might work towards an event as well. So there's always something to look forward to.
Yeah, I love it. And I think that's a great principle just in life in general, whether it's a musician or, like you said,
Right.
as an athlete or anything else that you want to master and get really
Right.
good at. Set tiny little goals, I think
Yeah.
is what you're saying, and
Absolutely.
work towards those. So you've kind of taken your passion for music, and now I think you're going to be doing some like really creative things
Yeah.
and branching out. So you've got an initiative that you've got coming on, and let me get this straight here. The Wisconsin Music Ventures.
Yeah.
So
that
tell me a
is
little
brand
bit
new
about
thing
what
I'm
is
starting.
that?
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. So this is a new business that I'm starting for myself. That is really sort of encompassing the private teaching that I'm doing. It's also kind of building on that, and it's going to be something where I'm teaching some of my music maybe outdoors, some music theory classes outside, doing some master classes outside, and in less nice weather, some unusual places that are just different from the ordinary in-home or in-school classroom experiences. Doing some fun outdoor or unusual place concerts, just doing something different with music in the area, focusing on smaller sorts of ensembles for the outdoor concerts, but smaller audiences, but something a little bit different for this sort of brand.
I love it because people are always looking for experiences, and music was a great way to bring people together. Do you have like a target audience, or who are you really trying to attract to come to these experiences?
I'm trying to attract people who love music, people who love something different, being outside, being like walkers, bikers, outdoor enthusiasts. And honestly, my own student base. Actually, I was just talking about this with Wylanda over here. I'm going to give her a shout out.
Wylanda, we're talking about you.
Oh, we were just talking about this, and I didn't tell her I was going to bring this up. But, for me, when I work with my students, I notice that I love to be outside. They love to be outside. Neither of us want to be inside doing music lessons when it's nice out. It's the last thing you want to be doing. And, so I want to have an experience for them when it's nice out that they will enjoy with regards to music. So that's a big reason that I'm doing this.
Man, if you were around when I was learning piano in high school, our piano was in the basement, and it was the worst. It was dark, and I just hated going down there. And I think that just didn't help me to really enjoy music as much as I could have.
Yeah, so this gives some sort of goal, to work towards in the summertime, or even in the wintertime. There's some other sort of place to work towards.
Yeah. So now let me ask you, we talked a little bit about staying with an instrument, working through the hard practice, but even still, being an artist, it has its challenges, it has its ups and downs.
Right.
How do you continue to stay in the pursuit, to focus on what ultimately brings you joy and your passion? How do you stay committed to that journey?
That's a good question. I try and stay committed by just always trying something new. I try and stay committed by, I'm really in touch with podcasts and learning about what is new and in trend and what's happening right now. And just, I really love experimenting with things, which is why I'm doing that for myself right now. Because you have to think outside the box and be a step ahead of someone in order to keep things interesting. And, that's what I like to do.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's been kind of a theme
with
all of the interviews today. It's that people don't necessarily know how something's going to work out, but they have a particular interest or a passion, and they're just saying, you know what, I'm going to try. I'm going to experiment, and it may end up being different than what I started, but wouldn't have even been that if you didn't start in the first place.
That is why we're creatives, right?
Yeah, I guess so. And that's why we have a place like No Studios to come together.
Exactly.
So what do you get out of being a member here at No Studios?
I have met some other really great musicians here. One of them is a tenant who I've gotten to work with a lot. He's been a really big help as a partner in some of my own music business endeavors. Some other great members that I've gotten to meet are actually here now. I've made some good friends here today. I actually held an event here this last Monday for a music business networking group that I've started in the last few months since February. And that's been really fun. It's such a beautiful place and such a great location. I love the stage here. I could see my quintet playing here at some point, hopefully. And it's just a great connecting point for this area, for Milwaukee musicians and creatives in general. So I've found great connections myself.
I love it. Beautiful place, great location, wonderful people. Hey, I say get off your couch and get down here. There's still a lot going on with the open house today.
Right, absolutely.
And Allison, thank you so much.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck to you.
Thanks,
I
Beth.
can't wait to experience one of your music experiences
it's gonna be great.
outside
I'm
this
excited.
summer.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it.
We'll have backup plans.
Yeah, awesome.
Just in case.
All right, everybody, stay tuned. We've got more coming, so don't go anywhere.
All right. Thank you.